Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my lesson. Isaac Ledamasuke. This is the Camera Masai. We also happen to have so many channels under the name Ledama Isaac Suke Humuduniani as well. So today we are doing again our grade 7 coordination lesson, whereby we are learning agriculture, and up to where we had stopped our lesson yesterday, or the previous lesson. Our previous lesson ended at a point whereby we were discussing the issue of tree growing, and we definitely be able to discuss what is a tree growing. We're able to have a discussion on the various importance of trees to several parameters in a society, leading the example of the environment. After the environment, we also discuss the issue of human being. After human being, we also discuss the issue of animals. And today, not wasting much time, we'll continue with our lesson. And in our lesson discussion today, we want to continue to look on tree planting. And I record this lesson on when I prepare for the lesson, so that if by chance I will not be able to attend the lesson, my student can be able to get it, because I will definitely be able to upload it online. And as part of effective teaching and learning, I have chosen always to record a lesson preparation, so that it can assist me to know exactly how far to teach, the parameters in which I will cover while I am teaching my students. Being teacher in rural schools, that is in Kenya rural schools, definitely require you to prepare before you go to class, so that you can be able to have, at the end of the day, give the best for your student. So we're able to look at the effect on the environment, and this one being a very practical lesson, there are so many clear effects of trees on the environment. That is, cleaning the air, preventing soil erosion, water retention, regulating climate, beautifying the spaces, and in support of biodiversity. In all these are extremely practical lessons, extremely real issues that as a CBC teacher you can be able to implement, or as a student in your class they can be able to implement. So further to our lesson, we'll continue to look at the tree planting, and on this time round we want to look at which other aspect on our tree planting. So we are going to look at role of trees in soil and water conservation. So roles of trees. So role of trees, that is it. Prepare the notes now. The roles of trees in soil and water conservation, because water and soil play a very critical role in our society. If they are not conserved, definitely they possess a lot of danger. So one thing is that trees protect soil from raindrops erosion, which occur when rains fall. So that is a very, very important thing. Also, trees provide shade. So kindly continue to write, provide shade, reducing evaporation, hence no moisture loss, because if soil do not have moisture, then the soil will not be productive. The other thing is trees act as windbreakers, preventing soil erosion. Trees are windbreakers, thus prevent soil erosion. In this state, wind being the agent of soil erosion. Another thing is Tree roots hold the soil together. Hold the soil together. Tree roots hold the soil together. Tree roots hold the soil together. And if the soil is together, then it can be able. So that is a very key role. Trees reduce speed of water. Trees reduce speed of water. Trees reduce speed of water. Hence no soil erosion. So that's another very great important role of trees. They reduce soil erosion, therefore no soil erosion. Trees decay or decomposition. Add manure, decay or decomposition. Add humus to soil, hence improve soil fertility. So when you go to sugarcane farming, in my videos you can be able to see mulching. That's the acting of mulching, as well as increase infiltration. Where we have mulch, we normally say they act as a water retainer. That is, water can collect there and infiltrate slowly into the soil. So in that term, we have now a term known as agroforestry. Agroforestry now come into play, and the term agroforestry is the growing of crops, trees, and rearing of animals, where on the same piece of land. Piece of land. So remember, we are facing land shortage, and so we have to plant them on the same. So that's the planting. So the planting of trees, therefore planting of trees and shrubs help to conserve soil and water. So ladies and gentlemen, or student in general, those are the roles of trees in soil and water conservation. And we have what we call management practice in a tree nursery. Management practices, on a tree nursery, because we have looked at the trees and we said these trees are extremely important. So that will take us now to the next area, which is management practices. I will give you the list of management practice. The first thing is for you to know them. Number one is mulching. Later on you will explain the part B. Watering. Having the ability to identify, first of all, is so key. The other one is weed control. The other one is breaking out. Breaking out is P-R-I-C-K-I-N-G. Breaking out. Root pruning. Root pruning is another management practice. Shedding, later on we are going to know what is each of them. Pest control, pest and disease control, disease control, pest and disease control, hardening off, transplanting is another management practice that we ought to know. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the management practices that as at this level a learner should be able, first of all, in CBC, to be able to state them. The first most important thing is to have the ability to state them. And the second most important thing is in part B, what do you understand by mulching, watering, weed control, breaking out, root pruning, shedding, pest and disease control, hardening off, and transplanting. So briefly explain the meanings of the following nursery trees management practices, because in such a question you'll be asked, student went online, they look at how to manage a nursery and they came across the following terminologies. What do they mean? Mulching, because in mulching the learner must be able to give a clear meaning. What is mulching? This is instituted by light mulch. Light mulch is applied on bases of vegetation to prevent evaporation and cool plants. Mulch are they can be leaf, bark, branches, husk, grass, etc. Those are the example of mulch. Watering, putting water on nursery, mostly at morning and evening. And the reason why you water in the morning and evening is that when you water in the morning, water will evaporate and it will not cause the burning effect on our seedlings. In the evening the same, there is no sun. Weed control, uproot trips, uproot weeds, to avoid competition for nutrients. So always uproot the weeds in the nursery. Breaking out, removing few seedlings where excess seeds, where excess seeds have been identified. So we call that practice weeding out. So you weed out simply means you're picking out, and B, the seeds can be put on other nurseries. So if you prick out, you can easily put them on other nursery. Root pruning as another practice. Remember, identifying them is first of all important. Undertaken to make lifting of seeds easier during transplant. Hence seeds will not be damaged. So you must always carry what you call the root pruning, that is loosening the soil around the roots. Shading is another practice, and why should it be done? Putting shade on top of a nursery to reduce raindrops impact. There's no splash erosion, so you must do it on your bed. Pest and disease control. Sterilize the soil via treatment or through treatment or application of appropriate chemicals. So make sure you can use a number of chemicals, e.g. ash and other chemicals. The next part is called hardening off. This is gradual reduction of shade, and reduce watering of seeds in preparation for transplanting. This makes seeds begin to adapt to prevailing conditions. So if you harden, you simply deny them so that they can be able to adapt to the real environment that you are going soon to plant the seedlings. The last one is transplanting. We have already made it somewhere. Transplanting is moving seeds to final plant site, final planting site, and be done on rain onset, be done on rain onset. This should be done on rain onset. Soil is not sticky at seed base during the onset of rain because it has been loosened. Easy to remove the seed, then easy to remove the seeds when it is the onset of rain. After transplanting, ensure to mulch, water, and water, shade the temporary. You give a temporary shade. So that is the management practices I expect you to do on a seed bed. And because the remaining part is extremely small, the caring activities we expect to do on the transplanted seed will be next. Caring. For planted seeds, because remember, tree growing, you're saying, is the planting and taking care until they reach that stage. Watering is one of the activities we'll be able to undertake. Manure adding, mulching, weeding, fencing, pruning, and training. Grafting, all those are things you can be able to undertake. So watering is very especially, manure adding, mulching, weeding, fencing, pruning, and all of them. So issue of fencing and B, fencing put to protect trees from physical damage. So you fence to prevent trees from physical damage. This is one reason for fencing, and the other one is pruning and training. Pruning simply means removal of extra parts of a plant. why the parts are unwanted. They can be broken. The parts may be broken. The parts may be overgrowing. The parts may have pests. The parts may have diseases. The part may have low productivity. So those are very critical questions. Which part of a plant need to be pruned? The last part is grafting. That I want to give you what is grafting. All trees. There's another caring activities for planting. Another caring activities. Grafting. This is act of uniting. Act of uniting two separate wood stem. This one will be well covered. Rootstock, and scion. I am avoiding so that I don't pick the cold. And NB. All trees are hardy, so scion grows well and easily because the trees are already hunting. So we basically come to the end of this topic, whereby now we have a number of activities for the learners. The first activity was provided in the previous lesson, and one activity is caring for trees. Establish. So I expect the learners to take care of the trees. Establish, that is, they do the watering. Another activity, at home. School debates. In functions, learners to share tree importance. So I expect my learners, dear learner, make sure you share in the ceremonies at your home. Please share. Plant trees at home and in community. So I expect my learner to plant trees at their home and as well to their community, and lastly they should share experience on YouTube, TikTok, social sites, class, email colleagues, and this one become the process of establishing a wider learning, because according to CBE curriculum we expect our learners to have that wider. So finally, I expect the learner now to explain the importance of tree growing in conserving the environment, what planting material can be used when growing trees, and possibly that is maybe a small part that I have to give. Planting materials needed to set up trees. So what are the planting materials? Because there are a number of them. We have seeds, we have what we call seedlings, and we have what we call cuttings. So there are seeds that can be obtained from seeds, from seedling, and from cuttings, e.g. cassava, seedlings, and you also have the one that are directly derived from the seeds. And with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our grade 7 lesson in tree planting, in which now the learners have had an extended activity whereby they were able to start some information about tree planting. They discuss the importance. They can identify the planting materials. They can then care for the planted materials. They can plant the trees themselves. And the other thing so important for them is during planting, tools required. Identify tools needed at various stages in trees growing. There are so many tools. There are places we need a panga, we need a jembe, we need the gloves, we need the gumboots, we need a rake, we need manure, cot, we need manure, and so many other things. Those are identified the tools at various stages. We can require those tools at various stages. So armed with that information, we have actually come to the end of our growing trees as taught in grade 7 agriculture lesson, and that is my extensive notes preparation, so that by the time I go to the class, the learners are able to understand. I record such a preparation so that by chance, as a digital teacher, I may not make to be in class, and if I fail to be in class, the same can be transmitted to my learners through sharing of the various links, and that one will encourage the use of ICT in the learning, the use of research in the learning, because whatever I'm doing is a preparation lesson for a student not only in my school, that's from Kilgoris, Narok County, but it can be across Kenya, and the same can be searched globally. So you'll find this one in my YouTube channel, Humu Duniani, aka Camera Masai. I can also be able to put it on Ledama Isaac Suke lessons. Watch, subscribe, and be part of the global society where we impact differently, we teach and deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, left now is me going to the class and deliver the actual lesson. Thank you for being part of the lesson, and God bless you.